So, I will take this presentation in English, but I'm Swede, and I've been working, helping Swedish students overseas for 10 years. It started with my daughter calling me up from a beach in Australia saying, "Father, I'm going for film." And the rest is history. She just had the information from the Swedish Film Institute that she'd get money for her first feature film just a week ago. And so after that she took her exam, we helped hundreds of Swedish students to go overseas. But we have been very, very, very careful about medicine and dentist and also vet. I've been down to New Zealand into a place down in the south called Dunedin. It's an amazing university, well recognized, called Otago University. But the way they teach medicine is not the way we can actually inform you to go for, because they do it like they take in 100 students the first year. After the first year, 50 of them can continue. The other 50 are not allowed to continue. And that model we can see all over the world. So when we have done the research to find the best schools in Europe, we found them in Hungary. We found a veterinary school in Budapest, and we found the medicine school and dentist school down in Pécs, south of Budapest. Pécs is an amazing location because it's a smaller town, but it's like if you want then to go to Budapest for the weekend, you can be in Budapest in 2 hours. If in the spring and the autumn want to go down to the south into Croatia, you can be in the sea after 4 hours. So you're really in between amazing destinations related to say the weekend and free time. So first of all, I want to introduce Anna from the veterinary school in Budapest. Anna, the school, I have to say, I was so pleased to see it. You're ranked top 5 in the world.
Top 7, let's say, in Europe.
And the amazing thing, if you want to become a vet, just the feeling that you probably have a dog at home. You can actually bring the dog to Budapest, but you can also bring the dog into the school. So we saw students sitting, having the paperwork done at the school with the dog laying underneath. The only lesson they couldn't go to was when they do the surgery and that stuff.
Yeah.
So please present.
Yeah, so actually we even have a dog in our office, in the international office, so it's our university is really very, very animal friendly, not surprisingly. You can hear me, right? In the sure. You mean like to put more sound on it? Do you know how to I will scream. Is this better? Fantastic. Okay. So let's start the party. So our university is one of the first veterinary schools in the world. It's in the first, 10 that was established in the end of the 18th century. We are in the top 7 veterinary schools in Europe, and we are very proud of that. And we are also very proud of our international community. We have twice as many international students as Hungarian. So we really have a lot of experience with students coming from abroad. Most of the students at the moment are coming from Europe. The biggest population is Norwegian and Irish, but we have many students from Sweden and other parts of Europe as well, France, Spain, also from overseas, so Canada, US, Korea, Japan, more and more students from Asia, and hopefully more and more from Africa as well in the near future. And we offer master's and a bachelor program together, so it's 5.5 years, and there is no separate bachelor in it. So you start right after high school, and then after 5.5 years, you finish with a master's degree, and you can start working anywhere in Europe and in other parts of the world. That's the start.
Yeah. Before we go in and let Pex present the school, I want to show you the way we structured the site called Unique Medicine School. You got the postcards, and we have done it in a way together with the schools that with the different occupations inside medicine. The problem we had was actually to say select the branding, saying should we say medicine, should we say health, should we say yeah, whatever. And but after communication with the schools, we decided to present all the areas under medicine. If you want to be contacted, it's easy in the way that you actually press on the picture and then fill in the form. And if you want a one-to-one meeting, you can in the end, under message, just saying, please call me up for a one-to-one meeting. But you can also do like this, that I will now, when Pex inform you, I will hand over pen and paper in the old-fashioned way, so you can actually fill in your contact details, and our specialist in this area will call you up for a one-to-one meeting. That person will also, for 110%, go into CSN funding and how CSN support you. The normal structure today is that you get 1,250 Swedish crowns per month. The same day you get 12,000 Swedish crowns per month for living cost. Then you get funding for the school fee, and you get also 2 return tickets back to Sweden per year. But we will give you a budget, and we will continue support you the whole time when you study. So I just hand this over if you want to put your name into it. So let me introduce the professor in biochemistry from Pex University.
So I try to be as loud as possible. Hopefully you hear me. I get accustomed because in the lecture room we use the same stuff. So I'm from Pécs, and as Pio mentioned, it's the city has a beautiful location in the south part of Hungary, which is a relatively small city, 167,000 inhabitants. However, we have 20,000 students, so it's a real university city, and we have roughly 4,000 international students from more than 100 different countries all over the world. Our medical program, I would say that historically is a very, very highly rated educational program. The university itself actually is the 3rd university on the world, so we have a 650-year-long tradition in education, in higher education, and we have a more than 30-year-long experience in English program, medical studies, and more than 10 years in German programs, because in the university we have 3 different programs, 3 different languages, let's say, an English, a German, and a Hungarian program. So we start every academic year with roughly 200 students in each program, so 200 English program, 200 German program, and 200 Hungarian program students. And we have this 6-year-long system, so there is no bachelor and master story. This is a one unique educational unit actually, which is a 6-year-long story. And what I can tell you is it's very important, I think it's very important that as I mentioned, the quality of the diploma what you can get from our university is really I would say outstanding. I'll have a story, but we're gonna talk about it, but maybe later on about this story. And on the other hand, it's also very important that beside the university you can live in a very, very livable city. This is a very cozy, historically very nice small city, and as I mentioned, there are 20,000 students in the city, so it is like a big campus, the whole city, like that. So I think it's very important that you can have a perfect life in the university or at the university, and you can have a perfect life beside all these educational stuffs, because you can have a perfect life in the city, you can enjoy it, and you can participate in this international community. So that's briefly the introduction.
Talking about equality,
Yeah.
I had a rumor from Norway, because you have several Norwegian students. I have a rumor saying in Norway that the country of Norway is split it up in what they call fylke. In Sweden we call that län, Stockholm's län, Västergötlands län, etc. And I had a rumor saying that the fylkes, say the board for the fylkes, that actually employ the persons like doctors, etc. They prefer students coming from your school. Please explain more.
Okay, so basically the story is the following. As we mentioned, we have a quite high number of Norwegian students. It's historically we had like that. So this is maybe the second or the third biggest community in our city, in our university. And I just heard last week actually from a teacher who is teaching in Oslo in the Björknes school that nowadays, which is actually nowadays means that in the past couple of weeks and months, all the doctors' positions, all the residents' positions which are offered by different hospitals in Norway, everywhere there is mentioned that they prefer those students who got a diploma from Page. So that, I think, this is the best marketing and PR story what I can tell you, because first of all because it's true, and secondly because it means that even if you get a diploma abroad, so outside from Norway at that case, this quality can have higher than whatever else diploma you can get from whatever other country. So and that it especially is about Page. So I would say that I don't have to advertise more our educational system or our quality of our diploma, because I think it's enough to say that's that story.
Yeah, so the next step, if you signed in there or you sign in by the website, is that our expert will call you up, and when we call you up we also inform you totally about the budget, so you know that before you actually apply. To apply, and this is really important, the school will come back here to Sweden and we will run one test in Malmö in March, and we'll run another one up here in Stockholm in June. If you're clever and smart, I had actually tried to, even that you need to travel down to Malmö, I have been smart actually doing the first one in March, because if you miss that, you're allowed to do a second one up here in Stockholm. So when I once upon a time applied to school, my teacher actually got me in to do the test already at the second year at high school, because he knew that I would fail. And just because I did a test, I knew when I did it after the third year at high school that I was accepted. So it's a good, smart strategy to apply, or say, do the test down in Malmö in March, and if you fail that one, do a second one up here in Stockholm in June. Thanks a lot for listening, and please come to the booth and speak to the experts. Thanks a lot.